Live from the Export Beer Garden Studios in Dunedin, this is the Agenda podcast for Friday the 5th of July.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Good morning, Lane.
Morning.
Welcome into the podcast. We are live from the Dunedin office. Where, full disclosure, I wasn't sure that I was going to be let back into the building.
Yeah,
We had an incident last year.
You left here in disgrace last year because you borrowed a station vehicle
Yeah.
from NZME HQ Dunedin, and let's just say you left it with, look, it's been exaggerated since then, but empty beer cans.
Yeah.
You left the lights on, so the battery went flat, which in the, I don't know, the car park, are you familiar with the car park? You can't get a tow truck down there.
Oh,
So-
God, no.
No, so they had to jump start it.
Yeah.
And it was full of beer cans and cigarette butts.
Well, what happened was we were going around dropping off beers to flats around Dunedin.
Okay.
And then we got back and we were like, you know what, let's have a couple ourselves. And we're in the...
In the car park.
And the car park here is honestly like the Paris catacombs. So it was dead pitch black and it was terrifying as well. So we had to have the lights on, obviously. And then we had a couple of beers. And then we said, right, we're going to duck off to the Octagon for a little bit. We'll come back and clean this place up. And then what happened was we did do part one of that plan.
Yes.
Part two
The clean up.
probably needed some improvement.
Yeah, there's
I don't know if we got that right.
there's been quite a few PASAG emails going backwards
Yeah.
and forwards, not involving us, just via colleagues.
Yeah, there was one very pointed PASAG email that was like, hey, Manaia and Lane, Joe and Heath are going to be down here this weekend. And the reply was, oh, that's great. Looking forward to seeing them. Just a reminder, please don't leave the lights on in the ute in the car park and drink all the beers and leave them all over the back seat and then durry butts in the ashtray of the ute as well.
The thing is, we do a lot because I remember our golf tournament here last year. I think I left maybe 20 dozen beers in the back of that ute. So I didn't get a thank you for that.
No.
So I think, you know...
You think we're square?
Yeah, I think we're square.
Yeah.
I mean, we left them a lot of beers and not one, hey, thanks for the 20 dozen beers. Thanks very much for leaving 20 dozen beers in the ute
Yeah.
for us to consume. So I think we're square. I think we just sweep it all under the carpet and we're done.
Yeah, we'll call it square.
Yeah, we'll call it square. It's
You're
fine.
welcome.
Yep, you're welcome. I mean, Jamie Mackay, he's a big fan.
Is he?
He's a huge fan of the Export Ultras.
Oh, great. Well, I think we're square. There were 2 boxes in our hotel rooms that we need to address the hotel situation as well.
How did they get into your room?
I don't know.
You had a 24 box.
Lane and Heath did not have a room. Myself and Joe had a room when we checked in. There was only 2 rooms.
Yeah.
They eventually found more room at the inn. I think you guys slept in a manger or something like that.
Yeah, but not tonight though. They said not tonight.
What had happened was we'd booked 2 twin share rooms.
You heard that? That was a hefty belch from the corner. Sorry. These mics are hot.
They are hot. But they upgraded, so it was just my name and Joe's name on the door, and they upgraded us. They're like,
They're doing you a solid.
if it's just the 2 of you, we'll upgrade you. And then 4 of us showed up, they're like, shit. So we basically promptly went to the pub and we're like, you guys figure it out. And then eventually they did figure it out.
They did. They left notes under our door, which would look way more urgent than what they actually were.
Well, it was terrifying because I came in, I woke up this morning to someone knocking on my door. I presumed it was you.
Nah.
And then they knocked again and I sort of like sat up, leaned to the end of my bed, just in my undies, and some dude walked in. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It was like the cleaner dude. He thought no one was in that room because of the mix-up. And instead of him seeing me and just leaving, he gave me this massive explanation as to what he was doing. I was like, just get out. What are you doing? Like, I'm just here in my undies. He's like, sorry, because I thought that there was something. I was like, I don't need the explanation, man.
Just get out.
Just get out. I'm here in my undies. We're not about to have a yarn.
So you weren't involved in the pussy riot?
I wasn't. No, I have no memory of the pussy riot because what happened last night, we got into Dunedin. We went to
Bag drop?
Bag drop, threw the bag at the back of the wall of the hotel room, straight to the Kensington to have a little bit of a recce, feed 20 through the pogies.
Yeah.
Then we went to another couple of bars. At the last bar that we went to,
Dunedin Social Club?
Dunedin Social Club in the Octagon, I made friends with a 80-year-old man. Don't know what he was doing there.
He looked like a mixture of Kenny Rogers and a corpse.
And the Wizard, the Canterbury Wizard.
Yeah, he was a mixture of that.
Yeah, he was. And And then at some point there was a fight, and I don't think I was there for it. I have no
I think
memory
you
of
and
it.
Koro were slow dancing at that stage to Shapeshifter. But no, the bar brawl, which has been described as a pussy riot on Hauraki, which is exactly what it was. It was like one of those ones where shirts came off.
Really?
Yeah, a couple of shirts came off.
When I was in the same room as this.
No, that when it spilled out into the Octagon. It was a pussy riot of a lot of kind of yelling and screaming, and then when the girls get involved, a lot of squealing.
A lot of squealing.
Yeah, and then I was not involved until they knocked my beer over, and then I was involved. Big Norm was involved.
Oh, Big
Big
Normie.
Normie got in there to try and break it up. Big Normie
Was the peacekeeping delegation.
and basically, Big Normie became the centre of that universe, and it went out into the Octagon.
Oh my
And
God.
it became even funnier outside because all of a sudden they were like, "It's freezing out here. What are we doing?" There's a dude with shirt off.
This is why it's so hard to invade Russia. We're finding this out the hard way.
Riots. And
So it was a girl fight.
no, it was a boy fight.
Oh, right.
But there were girls squealing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like seagulls around a packet of hot chips.
Right.
Yeah, it was like it was one of those ones where no punches were thrown, yet it was such a melee.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you weren't involved. I was half expecting you to come thundering out of the doors with old Koro and really get into
Start
it, but
throwing bones.
you were still slow dancing.
Yeah. I have no recollection of that at all, but that's what happens. This is, the ACC, I don't think, we've talked about this before on this podcast, I don't think any commentary team is a bigger fan of First Night Fever than we are. Nobody puts themselves on the back foot quicker than we do.
But do you know what?
What?
We're quite mature, though, because we're a day before the game.
Yes, we knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, so what we've done is a preemptive strike. So we got here a day earlier.
Yes.
So we went on the back foot for actual game day.
That's right, which is tomorrow, which is going to be, we'll be raring to go by then.
Oh, yeah.
We've just got to get through today. And if you're listening to this early enough and you're flying down to Dunedin,
Yep.
are we still picking people up?
Yeah, look out for us. We've got a coach there.
Yeah.
Who's driving?
I thought Richie Moonga.
No, he's driving tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
He's doing the game day shuttles. One of us have to do the airport shuttles.
You're
Oh.
right, Lane.
Hey?
What?
Lanes can't drive.
I can't drive. I've had tequila coffee.
this morning.
Oh, okay.
That's you.
It's not me. I had tequila in my coffee as well.
Yeah, it looks like it's Manaia, but Manaia
Well, we did talk about that. Richie Moonga actually does have his Class 4 and his
Yes.
P endorsement.
License, yeah.
So, look, as the guy who looks the most like Richie Moonga out of the three of us,
you've got a forklift license. Can you drive a forklift out there and just pick up a crate of? Can you pick a crate of passengers up and drive them back?
Have you discussed, speaking of looking like Richie Mwanga, how both me and Manaia, I tried to mix Richie Mwanga
Mwanga with
and
Manaia.
Moana to the one thing. We were spotted as athletes at the airport, and our bags
get
were marked
out.
as members of the English team's bags.
yeah.
So in fact, they tried to steal my bag. I had to argue with one of their guys. He was going, "That's not your bag." I could see a pair of my undies hanging out the zipper. I knew it was my bag.
Well, you came back. He did gaslight you.
He gaslighted me. I said he was
came
loading
back
it
and
onto
went-
the English team's trolley because we flew down in the same plane as them. Loading on, I went over and said, "That's my bag." He goes, "No, it's not. That's ours, mate."
And you came back going,
I totally gaslighted.
he goes, "No, that is my bag."
I had to walk back and did it, but I had a little tag on it. English team.
Yeah, it's an
English
English team.
So and the same thing happened to Manaia's bag, marked as the English team. So they've spotted us as athletes and then marked our bags.
I don't know about that. I don't know if they did. I don't know.
They put the tag on.
They spotted us as athletes. They didn't go near your bag.
My bag got stolen by some tourist who stole my bag and then returned it. And he said, "Oh, sorry. I was wondering why my bag was so empty." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, mate."
They did. They genuinely put tags on our bags.
Yes, I saw it.
It was like the English rugby team.
Yeah.
So
And I was behind. I was mentioning this with Matt on Hauraki Breakfast that I think I had the three youngest members of the squad who had just booked a trip to Bali. The English
yes,
guys,
yes.
yeah, young English guys in the squad, and it came down with the snacks. It was koru hour on the flight, so you could drink, but they weren't drinking. But oh my God, they helped themselves to the vinegar and salt snackachangies. Like
Yeah.
they took fistfuls of it.
I saw those.
And then Steve Borthwick, the coach, was sitting behind me, like was waving to the nutritionist, who was a long-haired guy,
Yeah.
who had a big box of protein bars.
Yeah.
And he came up to them and he went, guys, if you're hungry, eat this, don't eat that. And they were like 4 bags deep. And
Yeah.
they were like, oh, Okay. And he reached in and snatched all the chips away and gave them some shitty nut bar.
I saw that. As I was going. Yeah, I was, as we were boarding the flight, I was standing behind those. There was actually 4 of them that were booking a place to stay in Bali.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out where it was. So I was like, I've just got back from Bali. I could give you guys a couple
You should have chipped in there.
I didn't recognise the players. I should probably look them up. One of them was Emmanuel. I can't pronounce his last name. The winger. He looks exciting. Small, very small. A lot of them, yeah.
Marcus.
Joe Marler.
Was it? Yeah.
Do you see Joe Marler trying to
Joe
go to the
Marler's-
toilet?
he's
Did
a
the
big-
prop. He
How-
had to go into the toilet cubicle sideways. He
I'm
couldn't get
surprised-
in there. He
I'm
couldn't get in there.
surprised
He was
he
in there
could-
for 25 minutes.
I'm surprised he could close the door. You
Yeah.
know, you've seen the have you seen the footage of Andre the Giant taking a shit in a plane?
No.
When he has to back in with the door open and they close the curtain?
Because his head's still poking out there.
I actually heard some stock tips. I was standing behind Sam Underhill. Poshest voice I've ever heard since the last time I heard Bear Grylls speak on a...
And was he talking about investments?
It was investments. This guy, he was talking to these other ones, boring the shit out of another couple of young players.
That's a...
It was like, fantastic. I put quite a lot of money into that 6 months ago. It's really showing some dividends.
And they're just
it's really
smash-
coming through.
they're just smashing vinegar and salt snack and
Yeah,
cheese.
I told you boys that it was a good investment. And I was thinking, maybe win or lose, that guy wins because he's probably got some kind of... There's probably some gentleman situation, a Guy Ritchie kind of gentleman situation going on.
I tell you what, they don't muck around at the airport, they do they? Because they've obviously got a gear guy and a bag guy. So they get off the plane, and by the time we'd exited, that bus was leaving. They just had their hand luggage and they were gone. And how much hand luggage did they have?
Yeah, my fucking bag got taken off me and put in the toilet. They came down and said every member of the English team brought 2 pieces of hand luggage on, filled the entire frickin' overhead lockers. I'm trying to keep my bag on a seat. They come, I push it under there, and she comes and goes, "That's got to go on there's nowhere to put it. We're putting it in the toilet." So they stored my bag in the toilet.
So Joe Marler...
Yeah, Joe Marler had to go in sideways and
look through your bag.
Probably engulf the entire toilet in his backside beside my carry-on luggage.
Speaking of engulfing in the backside, you gave me a suppository this morning.
Yeah, listen to the Matt and Jerry Daily Bespoke podcast if you want to experience that. G Lane put in a suppositories this morning just for content.
What was the desired effect?
It's
a hemorrhoid.
It's a hemorrhoid. So no damage. Obviously, if there is any hemorrhoids up there, they'll be dealt with. But I must admit, I was expecting a smoother experience. I unpackaged the suppository, and it was like the tip of a glue stick.
It's a bullet shape, but it's not.
It's glue stick.
It's not really a capsule. It's more sort of a creamy kind
Yeah.
of.
So it took me a while to get it up there, and so I found it eventually, and it accepted it wholeheartedly. But then,
You found your hole.
But then, obviously, I was fossicking around there so much, I had to leave the studio.
Yeah.
And both hands, I was holding them up.
Yeah.
And the GM came out and goes, "Oh, hi," and went up for like a hug. And I was like, I was like, no, I need to wash my hands. I didn't explain why. And she was like, "Okay, fine."
Oh, shit.
That humiliated me because I thought I looked G Lane in the eyes and put my suppository in.
I thought
and
you were joking. That's
and-
why. And then you did it, and I was like, "You've actually shoved something up your ass."
Yeah, well, I was looking in the eyes, but then once again, but even before you, this was before you did it, and it's like I forgot about the hands as well, and so I was feeling like I'd sort of put you on the spot, made you feel awkward, and then I realised I had disgusting hands. And I felt humiliated, so I had to run off screaming to the bathroom to clean my hands. So that's you got to remember that when you're putting in a suppository. It's not.
It's a thing.
It's not.
You should do it in the bathroom, not a studio.
Yeah, you should do it in the bathroom, not a studio.
Yeah.
I think
You
that's.
did it in the studio? I was wondering why
Just
you were
here.
shaking hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it in here.
So I
when
need-
G Lane was doing, there's heaps of people because this is like a fish bowl in here. Like there's huge windows.
Yeah.
G Lane was bent over, trying to put a suppository in. There's about 4 or 5 people walking back up and down the corridor.
We're never going to be.
Yeah.
We're already
Yeah.
not welcome.
Yeah, because after what Manaia did last time,
Yeah.
we were supposed to be on our good best behaviour, and now we've already been involved in a pussy riot, and you've been spotted putting something up your ass in the studio B.
The pussy riot. The pussy riot is one of the best descriptions. Are we going to talk about some sport?
Yeah, we are. Let's take a break. We'll come right back with some actual sport. Yesterday, just before... Well, we recorded the podcast at about 10 o'clock, and then immediately after that, they announced their team.
Yeah.
Now, I've had sources in the All Blacks camp for, a good few years now. But since Razor's taken over, the sources have become a little bit less reliable.
Yeah.
And, yesterday I had to do some things that I'm not proud of to those, sources. Obviously, I can't go into
Children.
who it was that I had hostage,
Yeah.
But I was lied to by my sources, so my sources are dead to me.
Yeah.
And
Well, because there was a couple, two, wasn't there?
yeah, there was. I just about got it right. The two that weren't in there was I was hearing Blackadder instead of Finau, but actually Finau's starting, and then I was hearing Bowden Barrett, but it's actually Stephen Perifetta.
Yeah, the Cheese makes a starting lineup, which is interesting, I guess, in terms of not say form, but game time. I
Yeah.
guess because obviously Bowden's been in Japan.
And is on the bench.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah, so I'm okay with the Cheese being back there. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, was he the best fullback in Super Rugby this year?
Who was? Ruben Love. Yeah,
Probably Ruben Love.
yeah.
I'd probably even put Sean Stevenson back up there.
You really?
I don't know what Sean Stevenson has to do to get a call up to the All Blacks.
He didn't. He didn't cover himself in glory this year.
Yeah, he didn't set the
Last year
world
he
on fire, to
did.
be
Last
fair.
year I think he had a right to say I should be playing for the All Blacks. This year he was a bit injured.
Yeah.
There was a bit up and down, and then the games he came back weren't great.
Yeah.
It wasn't the usual. It wasn't it wasn't the standard shooter
Yeah.
that we saw this year than we had in the previous years.
But there were all these stories that he'd signed a contract with the NRL and blah, 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 and he was
Really?
going to leave. Yeah, this was before, not this year, but last year, before that.
Would he be a winger in the NRL?
Yeah, probably.
A
He
Daryl
could be a
Halligan?
fullback, to be fair.
I don't know. I think fullbacks in league need to be a bit bigger.
Oh,
Do they not? 'Cause
Yeah.
they're always running it back. Like that's.
There are a couple of like real whippet, quick,
Oh, that's true.
skinny
Yeah.
fullbacks, and the Warriors traditionally really struggle against those
Yeah.
kind of dudes. But yeah, no, I think anyone that goes over to a rugby league will just be a winger. That's just
Yeah.
what they do. They're just like, yeah, it's like when a league player comes over to rugby union, it's like second five.
Yep. Run it straight.
Yeah, just run
Smash them. See you next Tuesdays.
straight up the nuts. So we put out a video yesterday of all the nicknames of the players if you want to get yourself up to speed. But De Groot, Taylor, Lomax, Barrett, Tuipulotu, which is
Yes.
a bit of a surprise. I thought,
I don't know if it's a surprise.
well, to me, because I thought that his knee was actually buggered. I was like, for sure, he just came back just to play in that grand final.
But he's now
He reckons he's
he's
sweet?
written the check. He played the final. He can't now say I'm injured.
Yeah, that's right. It's like when you say you're crook, and then you're like, oh, but I'll go down to,
Dunedin.
yeah. And then on Monday morning, you're like, yeah, but I'm still crook. Like,
No.
you weren't crook when you were brawling in the Octagon on a Thursday night.
That was
were
a
you?
pussy right, wasn't a brawl.
I'm just grateful that it was holidays, university holidays.
Oh, yeah.
There weren't more people around. But yeah, no, I just thought for sure that Patrick Tuipulotu wouldn't have been in there, but sure enough, he
But I
is.
think it's a good place for him to start because I think he'll play 60, and
Yeah.
then Tupavai will come in.
Yeah.
So I think I think that made sense.
Luke Jacobson on the bench. TJ Perenara starting as well at the number 9 jersey, which to me says that Razor thinks he's going to be there or thereabouts for the next few years, I reckon. I reckon this is a signal of... Because we are as far away from a Rugby World Cup as possible. It couldn't
Yes.
be any further away. Now's the opportunity to bring a youngster in
But you don't
and
wanna
give him
lose.
reps.
But you don't wanna
But you
lose.
don't want to lose because you're the coach
Yeah.
of the All Blacks. So I think this is him being like, well, TJ's my guy.
TJ's my guy, and like we said, someone needs to lead the haka.
And someone needs to lead the haka because it is not going to be Scott Barrett,
No.
unfortunately.
No.
Or we could be wrong. It would be quite funny if it was.
Oh, it was a mana selection.
Yeah.
Full mana.
It was a high mana selection. We mentioned that we were on the flight with the English team. Did that change, like seeing the English team assembled, did that change how you think this game's going to go?
All Blacks 13 plus. I thought it was going to be tight. Then having witnessed, I don't know, they're a very young team. I don't know.
Very young.
I know, like someone said, well, you're an old man. I
Yeah.
said, yeah, fine, I am. But there were some exceptionally young dudes in that squad.
Booking a
They're-
trip to Bali.
Yeah, booking trips to Bali, eating all the snacker changies on the plane.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't fill me with confidence that they are going to come to Dunedin and beat the All Blacks.
No, never.
Knowing, having looked at teams that have just come out of the back of probably the best Super Rugby season
Yeah.
for some time, the likes of some Penny Finau and Tuipulotu coming at you.
Yeah.
And I looked at them and I'm like, I think you're going to get tooled up.
I thought that exact same thing. You've got, Ofatuanga and Fasi. I was looking at the guys on the plane. I was like, which one of you is going to tackle Ofatuanga and Fasi?
Well, Joe Marler's about the only one that
Joe
I looked
Marler.
at and said
Sure.
he couldn't fit down the plane.
Yeah.
That was the only guy I was like, he's a man of huge significance.
Yeah, he is. He's a road of national significance. Yeah. They couldn't get themselves a private jet down there. I asked one of them as well. I was like,
No,
guys couldn't get the private jet?
No, but the All Blacks travel in New Zealand as well.
The All Blacks do, but...
He's saying that they should. I don't know, but even a private jet can only take like 15 people.
Oh, not the ones I go on,
There
but
was
yeah.
it was half the plane.
I was thinking when we got on, I was like, thank God we don't have an Air Force or this flight would get shot down.
Yeah.
If Luxon was just like...
Well, as Matt Heath said, if it went down in the Southern Alps, there was some good eating.
Oh,
There was some
great
good eating.
eating.
Who would
Some
you
of
eat
that-
first? Who would you eat first on the English team? So it goes down. We land in 3 meters of powder.
Yeah.
The front half of the plane gets immediately killed.
Yeah.
We're in the back because we got bumped to the back. Front half of the plane are all English squad members.
Yes, they were.
And they're preserved, so we can put them on ice,
Yeah.
so we can get them out of their seats and just line them up in order of who we're going to eat first. Who are you eating first?
Well, they also sat the backs in the middle row, in the middle seat. I don't know if
right.
you noticed that. So there were forwards on either side and then a back in the middle. Heath?
Well, the human ice cream, Jamie George.
Oh, you're eating him first.
I think you're going in there, and also have you seen that prop, Finn Baxter? Have you seen that little guy?
Yes.
That little private school, yeah.
There's some crackle in that. There's some crackle in that. If you can
You'd
get
eat Finn there, yeah.
if you can
That'll
get
be some smooth meat.
if you can get a fire hot enough, you
You
can
just slow roast that; it'll come right off the bone. Just melt in
what.
your mouth, Finn Baxter. But the human ice cream, Finn Baxter.
Yeah. How long do you reckon you could live in the Southern Alps feasting on the English rugby team?
Oh,
How long?
years.
Years?
Years.
Years. But obviously summer comes round, you're going to... okay, I'm presuming they're all going to be frozen, so you can just go into the deep freeze and grab an English player.
Yeah, well, if they don't go off,
Yeah.
if they don't rot.
Yeah.
I reckon Joe Marler would be a bit tough.
I-
Be tough, mate.
Yeah, Joe Marler reckons... Yeah.
Big, just big.
I think you want to turn him into
Stringy.
jerky. You want to
Yeah,
probably
you
dry
jerky
him
him,
out.
yeah.
You want to dry him
yeah,
out. Yeah.
Salt him up.
Yeah, so some of those outside backs though, they look like you probably go medium rare on those
Yeah,
guys.
I think it's just like a pan fry,
Yeah.
1 minute each side, and just let it rest.
Who's the first five? Ollie,
No, Marcus Smith.
Marcus Smith. Not much on him.
Not much on him.
He
but
was chirping everyone the whole way down the flight as well. Like as they were all getting on, he was already in his seat.
I think Marcus Smith. I don't think you eat him. You keep him alive.
Oh no, I think you do him in straight away. He was just chirping everyone from the moment they got on the flight. He was just giving people shit. He was going the guys that were sitting near us who were booking their flight to Bali. He was just on them the whole time. Joe Marler took someone's phone out of their pocket as they were walking up the thing. They didn't see it. Only me and him. We locked eyes. And he was just like, shh, 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 shh.
Did he put his finger to your lips? And go, shh, shh, shh,
Yeah,
shh?
basically. As he pulled one of the outside backs' phones out of there.
Marcus Smith
pockets.
is his burst fade is extreme. His
Yeah.
haircut it's a faded bowl cut.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
So it's not it's known as a low taper fade, but his
Right.
is so severe. It's long and it just goes in on about a 45-degree angle
Yeah.
to
skin.
To skin.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
That's aggressive. I've never seen sharper fades
Yeah.
on a sports team in my life. And I wonder, did they, because they've been in New Zealand for a couple of days, but almost a week now.
Oh, they've definitely had haircuts.
So they've had haircuts.
Yeah.
Who cuts their hair? Do they?
Maybe the I think it's called the Razor Room in Takapuna. It's probably,
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's where they do some sweet fades.
They DM them, do they?
Oh my god, the Razor Room! Don't get me started on the Razor Room. $40. Kids are in there for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I reckon about half a centimetre comes off.
When did haircuts get so expensive? I feel like barbers forgot themselves through lockdown. It's like, we were fine without you guys. It's like airlines. And we bailed them all out. And we were like, look, just don't forget when everything goes back to normal. Don't forget we bailed you out. Don't forget that I was, having domestics with my missus in the bathroom while she's cutting my hair and absolutely butchering it.
Just shave it off.
For a good 3 years.
That's
yeah.
why everyone just went the full shave.
Yeah, I think so. The full kinda. Anyway, so having seen the team, you think 13 plus
13 plus. I was thinking England were good eating.
Yeah.
And then I've seen, I don't know what it is, but part of me is like, I think we've got this and got it comfortably.
Yeah.
I think. Just purely from the fact that we're battle hardened, we're straight out of Super Rugby. There's only a 2-week break. These guys have come out. Most of them are Hurricanes, Chiefs, and Blues.
Yeah.
They've been at the pointy end. Yeah, 13 plus.
Yeah. Heath, did it change your opinion at all that seeing the English team, did that change your opinion of how tomorrow's going to go?
It did actually, because I put some happiness insurance down at 460.
So did I.
I think everyone is.
Yeah, because I was like, 460, that seems... I talked to Jake Hayter, actually, John Kerwin, the guy with the big glasses.
Yeah, the Thunderbird guy.
Yeah, the Thunderbird guy with the huge glasses. And he said 460 is outrageous. That's outrageously good eating because this English team, very good side, they've been playing all year. The All Blacks... First game with Razor, just got together, almost like some kind of all-star team situation. So good eating at 460, but they were just, some of them were just so posh that you realise they're not really playing. I think, they're not really playing for anything because they're all going to go back. There's something about being super posh means you just go back to the butler and the estate. Yeah. And, in the end, you're still Sir Johnson, the shittest player in the team's getting paid better than the best player in our team, So I just felt there's a softness about being that posh that makes me think that, and then maybe it actually made me realise why we always beat them.
It's like if a guy had stood up in the front of the plane and shotgunned a beer, if he'd stabbed it with a Swiss Army knife, slammed it, crushed it, and gone, "Fuck you, Kiwis," and then sat down, I'm like, "Oh, we're in trouble. These guys are on. These guys are on one."
Yeah, but when you've got a giant steak, a giant 130 kg steak, just talking like Bear Grylls and being really, really polite and helping everyone with everything. I mean, God, I wouldn't want to have anything to do with
Joe Marler.
Joe Marler, like that would be terrifying having that guy coming at you. But just so polite. Yeah. So I just actually thought that I'm not going to need that happiness.
I wanted to hate them. I wanted to hate them. They were lovely. They were all very, very friendly. Another thing that was what you were talking about, how easily they got told off by their nutritionist. They basically got slapped on the hands for having their chips.
Their chips.
Which are great chips.
Great chips. They were feverish for them, and just being told off like that made them seem a little bit soft. I reckon you'd get some pushback from All Blacks.
Yeah,
they'd be like, or they'd try and hide a packet, or there'd be something.
Or they'd be like, "Get out of here!
Get out of here! I've had two small packets of chips, mate. Yeah. Totally. Get that protein bar out of my face, mate."
So we've got a hunch we have to place, Manaia. What are you thinking? I mean, I was throwing out there, and this I always find with an English rugby team, they get an early penalty and they kick it.
Yeah. Okay.
Shall we go first scoring play English penalty? I think it's paying like $3.50 or something.
Is it actually? I'm trying to find match markets. So first scoring play,
because we will
penalty.
We will always kick for the corner and try and score the try. I don't think we'll go 3-0. I think
particularly at home.
Yeah.
And also it's Razor's first game in charge. Yeah. He wants to send a message. We're not.
What's it paying?
I don't know if you can. I can't find just on England, but I've got first scoring play to be a penalty.
Yes.
That's $1.70.
But that's either side.
That's either side. Yeah. First scoring team. Oh, here we go. New Zealand, England penalty $3.50.
$3.50?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
But you're saying we're going to give away a penalty straight away?
Yeah. I think they're going to kick off into our 22.
Yeah.
And we're going to get pinged early. Who's the referee? Do we know who the referee is?
No.
If it's a Welshman or a Frenchman.
That's a very funny question that you ask, because it's actually not listed on the TAB who the referee is, but it does. It changes everything, doesn't it?
If it's a Northern Hemisphere ref, I reckon they're going to go quite hard on them.
Yeah.
And I'll ping them for some minor rule that wasn't involved in Super Rugby. So
time wasting.
Yeah. So first scoring play, England penalty kick. Okay, sweet.
$3.50.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good value, I think. And in a game that's otherwise not great value, we talked about yesterday, and actually Heath was just saying now, like, a lot of people have got it on the old happiness insurance. England to win at $4.60.
Nika Amashikali from Georgia is the referee.
Oh, we've got a Georgian referee.
Nika's the ref, is he?
Nika,
yeah. That's
a Georgian referee. Okay, that's really throwing a cat amongst the
My read on that
Hutchinson.
is, he's going to swallow the whistle because I think he is on the run. He doesn't want to be back in his hometown because they got a bit going on over there in Georgia.
So do you reckon but if he wants to stay in New Zealand, then he has to do the right thing.
Yeah, that's right, and that's not penalise the All
Yeah.
Blacks. So that does change things for me. So I think,
Okay, you changing it.
yeah. Well,
All Black penalty.
I wouldn't be shocked if he didn't even show up. If he's in the country, I reckon he's just going to go missing. You know, he'll just be like, "Bugger this."
It's like after the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
all these people go missing.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen with this guy because it's either that or he's going to go back to the Crimean Peninsula, you know, and get busy with the AKs.
Okay, so are you changing then to New Zealand penalty, which is 280? If it's a Georgian referee, or are you still thinking?
I think he's not going to blow a penalty at all. I reckon he's going to swallow the whistle. He's going to be like, I don't want to be part of this game. Like, I'm just going to be out here. I'm trying to keep my head down.
So what are you thinking? New Zealand try then?
Yeah, it could be a
At
New Zealand
290.
try. So New Zealand try is
290.
shorter odds than England penalty.
Yeah.
That kind of makes me want to go back onto the England penalty now.
Okay, well, I'm doing it. Well,
'Cause that's far more likely than us scoring a try
Let's
first.
follow the hunch. Let's follow the initial hunch
Yeah.
and go there. Okay. It is paying 350. Done.
All right. It may shock you to know that I'm not abreast of the New Zealand sporting landscape this morning. I don't know what else is going on.
Well, it's Friday. It's the Warriors tomorrow at 4:55.
Oh, yes. All right. Well,
against the Doggies.
let's take a quick break. We'll come back and I will break that down for you.
Will you?
Yeah, probably. All right, yeah, the Warriors are playing tomorrow. It's a hell of a sporting lineup. I think, are they at 5 o'clock?
Yeah, 5 o'clock. Di Henwood and Ben Hurley have your commentary on that one.
Yeah, which is just as well too, because we broke this down at the start of the week. Of the 7 games that I've commentated of the Warriors, we've lost 6 of them.
And good news, everyone. Joel Harrison is going to be on the fader.
On the ones and twos. He's on the fader right now, actually.
He is, but he
this
is the good luck charm. He is the good luck charm.
Speaking of the good luck charm, have we flown the Grim Reaper down to the...
Oh, my God.
Hey, no.
Hey, hang on, hang on a minute.
Hey,
You're
no.
a team you support in another town.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
What?
The lucky chap, definitely, the notorious pantsman Joel Harrison is definitely a lucky charm for the Wasps.
on England.
But the Grim Reaper, I'm looking at the Grim Reaper, and he's definitely going to the game tomorrow.
But is it a home game though? I've travelled, but it's still my home.
Yeah, it's
It's
just...
still my home. If I travel to Sydney or Melbourne,
It's a real technicality because I guess it is a home game for the All Blacks.
I guess you're going to use the technicality to use either way, aren't you?
Yeah.
So if we
No,
win, you're going to go, well, it's obviously...
Well, it's really a test case because if we win, then we know that the Grim Reaper curse of the G Lane, Grim Lane curse doesn't work on your international side and that country. If we lose, that means it's just when you're out of your hometown supporting a team.
Okay, fine.
All right, okay.
So you
So
guys,
this is
you
a
guys-
test case. We'll get back to you on it.
You guys tailor the grim curse however way you want. It's fine.
We'll shift the goalposts after you kick it. But that is a very interesting point that you've raised there. Have we inadvertently flown the Grim Reaper down to Forsyth Bar Stadium?
Wow, look. Who knows? We'll
Have
find
you
out.
already placed that bet? Can we change it?
No, I know. No, the bet though is the English penalty. So
Oh, that's right,
I think
yeah.
it's a bit of happiness insurance there as well.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad. But the Wars versus the Doggies.
The Doggies.
How are the Doggies going?
Yeah, really well, unfortunately. Yeah. They're inside the top 8. A few weeks ago, it was like, oh, shit, the Bulldogs are in the top 8. And now it's like, oh, yeah, they should be.
Were they wooden close to being wooden spooners last year?
They weren't. They didn't do well last year. I feel like it was the Tigers.
Oh, yeah, it was
I feel-
definitely the Tigers. Yeah.
No, but the thing is, the last 2 years they've done a really good job of signing good players, and they sort of seem a little bit like a PlayStation team. I remember Stacey Jones Rugby League back in the day on PlayStation.
Yeah.
You could bring all the players in. That's what they did over the last 2 years. So on paper, they've had this great team. They brought all these great players from other clubs, but it just hasn't really started to click. But it always felt to me inevitable that, like, you've got enough quality players there. They brought Matt Burton in, they brought Red Marnie in, they brought all these, the Fox, Josh Adokar, who's actually injured at the moment.
Good.
They unearthed a couple of dudes, Jacob Carraz and blah, blah, blah. I just sort of, Kickow they brought in as well, Crichton.
Kick out. He is terrifying.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, he's a terrifying dude. And so you've got all these guys on paper who are like, these guys were all great at one point, individual players. It's only a matter of time before it starts to click for them. And it has started clicking for them. And that's the unfortunate thing for us.
And the Waz, we're playing away, obviously.
We are playing away. It's supposed to piss down across the weekend in Sydney as well, which doesn't...
Is that good or bad for us?
Bad for us.
Really?
Yeah. The biggest issue that we have is, if this game goes to overtime, we're going to miss Golden Point because we have to cut straight to the All Blacks on the commentary on the ACC.
It's a hard cut. It's a hard cut.
And so, Joe's been dealing with Sky these last few days, and he's been nervous about like, oh God, what if it goes to Golden Point? And the whole time we've just been saying, look,
You've got to go to the ABs.
we've got to go to the ABs, but also, how often does it go to Golden Point? It doesn't happen that often, Bulldogs went to Golden Point last week.
And it did happen mid-season when the Warriors went to Golden Point. We crashed into the Hurricanes game 10 minutes into the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Not one complaint.
No, it was the draw with the Seagulls. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think it's worth tuning into the ACC's coverage of both those games just to find out if that happens.
Just to watch the technical difficulties that are going to be dealt with.
Yeah. Joel Harrison said he's on the desk for
Both of them.
For both of them, and he said he just texted me now. If it goes to Golden Point, he's leaving the Warriors.
I'm leaving the Waz on.
He's leaving the Waz on.
Oh my God. That is going to that's a civil riot situation. That is a pussy riot right there.
Yeah, so that's worth the price of admission. I think this is going to be this is going to be the real test of where the Warriors are at. They won those 2 games that they shouldn't have, then they lost, then they beat the Broncos, the depleted Broncos side, but they can only play who's in front of them. Now, this weekend is going to be the real test of where the Warriors are.
Yeah.
And the graph is so steep for them to get into the top 8. So this is going to be the real
So
real
what does your head say and what does your heart say?
They both say the same thing, and it's that I think the Warriors are going to win. I genuinely think the Warriors are going to win. I just think the Tamari Martin and CHT have
The hot halves.
The hot halves, we've latched onto something. Hotness, it's something that the Broncos did last year. They just had as many hot dudes in the team as possible. And I think that's, it can't be overlooked. Life's just way easier for good-looking people. And so I think that that's the way it's going to go. My head and my heart both say that we're going to win that one.
I don't think there's going to be an issue around the Golden Point thing. Just got a communique from the notorious pants man, Joel Harrison. He's not flicking it over to the All Blacks.
Yeah, that's what he said. He just sent us all a text saying, I'm on the keys. We're not moving.
He's not.
I'm not leaving.
It's not flicking over if that happens.
Oh, if it goes to Golden, that's on you, Joel Harrison, because there is hundreds of thousands of rugby heads who just tune in for All Blacks, who do not want to watch the Waz try and fart out another draw against the Bulldogs. Okay, so that's on you, Pants Man. That is on you.
He's willed it into existence. All right, let's go. All right, let us head out to do the first run of our Richie's coach out to the airport.
Yep.
If you're listening to this, flick us a message on Instagram. We'll come out and pick you up for the airport.
We've got lasagna toppers to drop off to Flats as well, so DM us, the ACC NZ on the Instagram. We'll come past your flat and drop off a box of toppers and southern fried chicken toppers and maybe some refreshments.
Yep, absolutely we will. So we're going to go and rip into that one right now. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Lane, Heath, and Joe Jury sitting on the floor behind us.
Smells in here now.
And thank you very much to Joel Harrison for helping us out here. Leave those Warriors on, mate. We will see you guys tomorrow for the commentaries and then Monday for another episode of the Agenda Podcast.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda Podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.